ones that were sweating until about 10 seconds left of the game Saturday night. They didn't want to have to face me come the next council meeting. But they prevailed, life goes on, and I do have a job still today, which I was a little worried about there going into that last 10 seconds of the game. So I figure all things being equal, getting a paycheck on a regular basis is worth the 2-point loss in the ball game. I'm going to pick up right where Robbie left off. Robbie was pointing out the fact that Greenwood County Council and the culture of Greenwood County is very conservative culture. And I wish to stress that. And that's a good thing in South Carolina. That's a good thing in this world we live in today. I'm a very conservative person myself. Now my wife and children may have a different word for that. I think they call it tight. But that's my outlook in life as well. And coming into Greenwood County, when you're new in a community, you don't know what you're going to find. You know what you've heard, but you never know what you're going to find until you actually get there. So let me assure you, number one right now, that your council has had a very good hand on the tiller of this county for many years, and you're in very good shape going forward. They have been a conservative council. They have not wasted your money, and it's been invested well. They've turned over and entrusted to me the opportunity to continue doing that as we go forward. And that is part of my plan and part of my commitment to you as a community, that we'll continue to go forward in a direction such as that. There's a lot of good news out there about Greenwood County. You know, Robbie was right. We live in the best county in South Carolina, but it's not just South Carolina. It's the best county in America. And if it weren't, you wouldn't have all of you in this room, because most of you could go anywhere if you wanted to. Many of you have come from elsewhere to come to Greenwood County. We've got industry represented here that could go anywhere, and anybody would want them. But we have them in Greenwood County. We're going to keep them in Greenwood County with the help of Jay and the partnership of those of you in this community that work that way as well. Excuse me. A lot of good things, though, that are happening. And I'm going to share with you some of the additional news, if you would, status of where we are. Robbie told you that we've started collecting the 1-penny sales tax. You'll be glad to know that it's coming in strong. And that's important to know that. If the penny sales tax did not meet the needs, we would have to have done some kind of scaling back of projects or finding additional revenue sources. Well, it's coming in strongly as of the end of September when we received our first payment on that. So you can rest assured that when you voted that penny in, it is coming in at the library. I guarantee you that. Other projects, other things that have happened that are going forward that we want to talk about. Robbie mentioned the lake. I'm going to kind of toot the council horn a little more on that. The council has made a decision that they will manage that lake in the best interest of this county. 60, 70, 80 years ago, when Greenwood County first built that lake, there were probably a lot of people that said, what the heck is a county doing building a lake? You may or may not realize, I'm sure you do, but that is an anomaly in this world. Counties don't own lakes in the United States of America. The Corps of Engineers own lakes. Duke Power owns lakes. Santee Cooper, SCE&G, they own lakes. Counties rarely own a lake, and if they do, it's not an 11,000-acre one. This council, and through them myself, are managing that lake to the best interest of this county. When you drive over Lake Greenwood, you might notice it's down, but to give you the exact amount, we're down from where we normally would have been this time of year. We're down 8 inches from where we normally would have been this time of year. There's always an ebb and flow in a lake. But it's been managed for the interest of this county. Why is it in our interest? Well, if you've been to Atlanta lately, that's all you need to know. What gives us a powerful selling point to Atlanta right now? That lake is one of the biggest selling points we have in our favor, because it's not going anywhere. Atlanta's lake is. Other things that are in our favor, I was telling someone yesterday, one of the very first things I learned when I moved to Greenwood and started looking around is Greenwood County lives larger than it really is. We're not a big county. We might hit 70,000 people, first time in our history this year. When you tell people you're from Greenwood and you start a conversation, as I've done a lot lately, at some point the question comes up, how big is Greenwood County? It's about 70,000 people. And there's almost always a pause. I said, really? I would have thought you were much bigger than that. The state of Greenwood County is excellent because we live so much bigger than we are. We've got an outlook on life in this county that says we're not going to be a small county. We're not going to be a county. Here's a statistic someone told me once. Before I ever knew I'd have an opportunity to work for you and with you. What is the largest community east of the Mississippi, not on an interstate? Greenwood County. Someone told me that once. Wow, I never would have thought that. It's a fact, but that doesn't slow us down. People can give you reasons why you shouldn't do something, but in this county we look for reasons why we can do something. The library is a good example. The dam and the lake is a good example. We mentioned the sheriff, the job they're doing over there. Well, there's going to be additional work done in the next year to 2 years because we're going to have to build a new jail. Now, that's not sexy. That doesn't help your economic development. People don't retire in our county because we're going to build a new jail. But there's a commitment from this county to do what it takes to be a leader among quality of life. And that is part of our quality of life. And we will, working with the sheriff, do for you something that will, again, improve the quality of this life, the quality of life in this county, and make us a community. When we go out at night, not that we're not, but when we go out, we know that we've got a sheriff's department and he's got the resources necessary to do the job you elected him to do. And again, I credit this council for having that vision. It doesn't work that way in most counties. And if you've lived here all your life, you may be used to the Greenwood way. And the Greenwood way is very similar, I've discovered, to what Robbie said. You work on things behind closed doors, you work it out, and then you go forward unified. And that's why we've accomplished so much in this county. Sheriff is a great example of someone who's accomplished a lot in this county by working with others. Again, in other counties, it doesn't work that way. Frequently, the sheriff and your elected county council are at odds with each other. They're two separate camps going head-to-head for the public's opinion. Not in this county. Work together. I look at other elected officials that are here and others that are not in the room, but if they would be, they could. They would if they could be. And the relationships that exist in this county are going to continue moving us forward. I've had the opportunity of working close with the city, the school district, the sheriff, the solicitor, the magistrate, the judges, the 7 members of council, the elected officials in 96 Ware Shoals in the city of Greenwood, and the unelected officials in Bradley and Troy and in other parts of this county. And the relationships that are out there are what are going to continue to make us successful. Because I can say and look each one of you in the face and say that we have got excellent relationships. And I have got that opportunity to come in behind a great man who built them and a council who put them in place. It's going to keep moving us forward. Because I don't have to worry if I pick up the phone and call Steve Brown. I don't have to worry about a problem with the city of Greenwood. It's not going to be a problem. We're going to talk about it and come to what's in the best interest for both the city and the county and go forward. Same way with 96 Ware Shoals. I know, Mayor, as I get the chance to work with you, I know that's going to continue. Greenwood County is supportive of the town in 96. Right now we're building a welcome center that's going to be a great asset to the town. It's one of our gateways in this county. We're proud of the fact that the county has participated and supported that program and that development.